The starship Elysium drifted silently through the void, its hull glinting faintly under the light of a distant sun. Aboard the vessel, Captain Rhaenyra of the Clivax Collective sat in her command chair. Her four eyes narrowed in frustration. Her species, known for their sharp intellect and even sharper tempers, had never been known for patience. And right now, Rhaenyra was running out of it. "Status report," she barked, her voice echoing through the bridge. The helmsman, a young Clivax named Turvok, turned to her. "The human vessel is still trailing us, Captain. They haven't made any aggressive moves, but they're persistent." Rhaenyra hissed through her teeth. Humans. She had heard stories about them, of course. They were a young species, barely out of their cradle, yet they had already made a name for themselves in the galaxy. They were reckless, unpredictable, and most annoyingly, lucky. "Open a channel," she ordered. The comms officer nodded, and a moment later, the holographic image of a human appeared on the bridge. He was tall, with a scruffy beard and a grin that made Rhaenyra's skin crawl. "Captain Rhaenyra," the human said, his voice cheerful. "I was wondering when you'd finally call." "Commander Jack Harper," Rhaenyra replied, her tone icy. "You've been following us for 3 cycles. Explain yourself, or I will consider this an act of aggression." Harper chuckled. "Aggression? Captain, we're here to help. You see, humanity owes you a favor." Rhaenyra blinked. "A favor?" "Yep. A few years back, one of your ships saved a human colony from a rogue asteroid. We don't forget things like that. So, when we heard you were in trouble, we decided to return the favor." Rhaenyra's mind raced. She had heard of the incident, of course. A Clivax survey ship had diverted an asteroid that was on a collision course with a human settlement. It had been a minor event, barely worth noting. And yet, here the humans were, claiming they owed her a debt. "What kind of trouble do you think I'm in?" she asked cautiously. Harper's grin widened. "Oh, come on, Captain. You don't think we didn't notice the Elysium limping through the sector? Your engines are barely holding together, and your shields are at 30%. You're running from something or someone." Rhaenyra's heart skipped a beat. The human was right. The Elysium had been ambushed by a group of Zorath raiders 2 cycles ago. Her ship had barely escaped, but they were in no condition to fight. And now, with the humans on her tail, she was trapped. "What do you want?" she asked, her voice low. "Like I said, we're here to help," Harper replied. "We can get you out of this mess. But first, you need to trust us." Rhaenyra hesitated. Trusting a human was like playing Russian roulette with a plasma cannon. But what choice did she have? "Very well," she said finally. "What do you propose?" Harper's grin turned predatory. "Follow my lead, Captain, and prepare to see something unimaginable." The Zorath raiders arrived an hour later, their ship sleek and deadly, their intentions clear. Rhaenyra watched from the bridge of the Elysium, her heart pounding. The human vessel, a small, unassuming ship called the Odyssey, floated beside her, its engines humming softly. "Captain," Turvok said, his voice trembling, "the Zorath are hailing us." Rhaenyra nodded. "Put them through." The holographic image of a Zorath commander appeared, his scaly face twisted into a sneer. "Captain Rhaenyra," he hissed, "you have something we want. Surrender it, and we may let you live." Rhaenyra could respond. Harper's voice cut in. "Sorry to interrupt, but I think you're forgetting one thing." The commander turned, his eyes narrowing. "Who are you?" "Commander Jack Harper, of the United Earth Fleet." Harper replied, his tone casual. "And I'm afraid you're out of luck. You see, humanity owes Captain Rhaenyra a favor, and we always pay our debts." The Zorath commander laughed, a harsh, grating sound. "You? A single human ship? You think you can stop us?" Harper's grin returned. "Oh, we're not going to stop you. We're going to annihilate you." Before the Zorath could respond, the Odyssey surged forward, its engines flaring with a blinding light. Rhaenyra watched in awe as the small ship darted through the Zorath fleet, its weapons firing with pinpoint accuracy. But that wasn't the most astonishing part. As the Odyssey moved, a strange energy began to emanate from its hull, a shimmering field that seemed to warp reality itself. The Zorath ships fired their weapons, but the energy field absorbed the blasts, redirecting them back at their attackers. What is that?" Rhaenyra whispered. Harper's voice came through the comms, his tone almost playful. "Oh, just a little something we've been working on. Quantum entanglement field. Turns out, if you mess with the fabric of space-time enough, you can do some pretty crazy things." Rhaenyra stared at the screen, her mind reeling. The humans had somehow harnessed the power of quantum mechanics and turned it into a weapon. It was impossible. And yet, there it was. Within minutes, the Zorath fleet was in ruins, their ships reduced to smoldering wrecks. The Odyssey returned to its position beside the Elysium, its hull unscathed. "Debt repaid," Harper said, his grin audible. "Safe travels, Captain." Rhaenyra sat in stunned silence as the human ship disappeared into the void. She had always thought of humanity as a young, reckless species. But now she realized they were something far more dangerous. They were unstoppable. And when humanity owed you a favor, you could expect the unimaginable.